Are you caring and responsive to others? Do you like being a problem solver as well as getting your hands dirty? Do you thrive in a fast-paced, ever-changing work environment? Do you get personal satisfaction by serving and helping others? Do you enjoy the challenge of being physically fit and active? Do you get gratification from being part of a successful team? Do you hold yourself accountable in all actions and deeds? If you answered yes, then this could be your second home.
I often get asked from people, what are you looking for in new firefighters? And the answer is simple. We're looking for people who want to help others. We're looking for people who have positive attitudes, and not just a positive attitude, but a great attitude. Individuals who want to be part of a team, people who have the ability to think on their feet, people who want to give back to their community and make a difference. That's what we're looking for with our entry-level firefighters in Henrico County.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
When you're fighting a fire, you can't get tired. So if somebody's relying on you, I have to think to myself, yeah, it hurts right now, but in the end, it'll be worth it. So every time it gets painful, every time it gets tough, I just think I'm building myself up. So in that incident, if something should happen, at least I know I'll be prepared and be able to handle it.
Morning run at the PSB! Morning run at the PSB! On this team there is no me! On this team there is no me! HFT's what I want to be! HFT's what I want to be! Work all day and pain all night! Work all day and pain all night! I guess that means that we're doing it right!
Nobody's going to torture you. We will methodically and under the guidelines of prescribed PT work you out and get you physically fit in an acceptable prescribed manner. But let me tell you, at the end of 23 weeks, you'll be in the best shape of your life. At the end of 23 weeks, you'll be a changed person. We'll show you the way, but we're not going to hold your hand. You got to stand on your own 2 feet and make that happen.
The PT program that we run is very intense. Our PT instructor, Dr. Darko, does an awesome job with the PT program. He's putting a lot of work and a lot of time in it. And day 3, we do the PT test. We ask them on their application, what do you consider your cardiovascular, your strength? And a lot of people on their application will put 8, 9s, and 10s, so we want to see what the 8, 9s, and 10s really are. Well, we get them out there and we find out who are the 8, 9, and 10s and who are the 1, 2, and 3s.
It's sort of like the process of becoming a black belt. You go through 3 years of training in black belt, not to graduate and say, now I've reached my goal and this is it, I'm the best. But it's really, okay, I've finally reached the beginning line and I'm ready to start. And that's really what I expect. It's going to be hard. I fully expect that.
As a firefighter with the Henrico County Division of Fire, you will be accountable for your actions on and off duty throughout your career. You will work in a paramilitary structure where you are expected to follow orders or directives with unquestioned discipline, and everything you do will be as part of a team.
I call it scaffolding. It's like building that foundation and then moving up onto it and building your platforms as you go. The purpose of the EMT class is to give them a foundation and to give them the building blocks to be able to hopefully, when they get the call, be able to put the puzzle pieces together. We have 2 components. We have the written and we have the practical portion. It's important, number one, for them to learn to do the hands-on portion, but it's so easy to be embarrassed. This is part of the job. You have to touch people. And they're very hesitant, you know, in the first part. In every class you ever teach, they don't even want to touch each other to even take pulses. And then we start, okay, well, now we're going to assess the whole body.
140/82.
Really?
But we do start in baby steps to get them to that level.
The more you do it, the more you realize that, hey, when I get in the field, you can't let that stuff get in the way. You got to just go to it, do your job to the best of your ability, and doing these practicals gets you along that line of thinking. It's not, hey, this person is here and I don't know them, let's try to keep some modesty here. It's, hey, this person's hurt and we're here to save them.
We have to have people on the street that know what they're doing. They're going to be out there with people's lives in their hands. So we can't send people out to the street and into these fire stations that don't know the material and understand the concepts. This whole academy not only is a series of building blocks, but it's also a series of testing, and we are constantly evaluating the recruit.
All of them are successful EMTBs, or at least certified. These guys achieved so much in 5 weeks. I mean, it's amazing how far they could come.
Do you have any history of high blood pressure or anything?
We have a lot to be proud of. The fire instructors are going to do the exact same thing we did. They're going to give them a foundation, and they're going to allow them to build upon those experiences.
There's no break. We got to go right back into learning the next step. So it's all building up inside again. I really don't know what to expect, to be honest. It's going to be life-changing, I'm sure.
This move to the drill facility is another symbolic moment for them, that now they're moving to the firefighter part of the training.
Good morning, sir! Welcome to the drill facility. Here's where the fun really starts. Here's where your work's going to start to pay off.
They've left the world of the air conditioning classroom practical stuff on the carpet, and now we're outside and we're going to do some tough stuff.
A lot of firefighting has been glorified on movies, TV shows. Our job now is an all-hazard agency. We deal with everything. If dispatchers don't know what to do, don't know what type of call, send the fire department. We take care of it. There's so many different things out there that we have to train for that makes it very difficult for us to tell people exactly what we do. We do it all. We are the catch-all for any type of emergency. So we have to prepare for all that, which means we have to have our training take many different turns in the road to get the end product. So it's not just put water on a fire, grab the victim, stand up and run out the door. It's not that. We have to know how to find the victim, how to be able to put the fire out to where we do not spread it or cause an unsafe environment for ourselves. We're gonna have to tell if the building could collapse because of fire. To see this, the actual training that all firefighters have to go through, not just Henrico County, you'd be amazed at what we have to put into it.
It's really 50-50 as to whether or not you're, mentally and emotionally and chemically made up to be able to withstand this stuff. And that's the point of the Recruit Academy. The point of the Recruit Academy is to put you in positions that you've never been in before in your life, and see how you handle it. And if you can't handle it, our job is to tactfully explain to you that this may not be the career for you because, it could get you hurt or killed or somebody else hurt or killed.
How's the mask feel on your face? Are you feeling comfortable now?
And on day one, we get them in their turnout gear. We make them start to crawl around in it. What we do, we call field crawls, essentially put an air pack on them and make them crawl until they run out of air. We try to push them to that point of physical exhaustion, because when you get inside of a house with superheated temperatures, zero visibility, and we're searching for victims inside of that house, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. So there's a rhyme to the reason there, point to the madness, so to speak. For a firefighter, our turnout gear is a lifeline for us for a number of different reasons. Any time of the day, You call 911, you have an emergency, we get there as fast as we can. That's what we're there for. So they need to be able to put that gear on incredibly fast. By making them put it on and take it off and put it on and take it off thousands of times, not only are we increasing their speed, we're familiarizing them with the gear. So no matter what the event is, they know what to do with it. One of the biggest things that we're looking for with these recruits when it comes to their gear is their limit to claustrophobia. Everybody's got a different limit to claustrophobia, so we start them off in their gear. Some people are claustrophobic in a gear with a face piece on, with their mask on. They can't handle that kind of restriction. So we start them off in their gear. The next thing we do is we start to put them through these 16, 18-inch pipes.
What we're going to do today is we're going to put you in a piece of pipe and let you crawl through it. I'm not saying everybody's going to make it through here, but most of you should be able to make it through here, okay? We will tie a piece of rope around your foot. That way if you get stuck or panic, we can pull you out, okay? So don't be afraid.
It's taken 30 years to figure out that I've got a problem with tight spaces. I had no idea, honestly. I think that's part of this academy is kind of learning your capabilities and what you can and can't do. It gets better. Yesterday I would have been freaking out by now. I'm gonna start scooting on out.
See it at every academy. I've seen it at every academy. Somebody's come to me and said, hey, I don't like this. They don't have a choice but to like it. And that's where our job really comes into play is, all right, we got to get this person ready. We've got to sit down and really do some one-on-one working with this person to make them ready. And luckily, out of the schools I've done, we've had 100% success rate with doing it. We're going to crawl, we're going to walk, and we're going to run. Remember now, you're not a bull in a china shop, okay? Work your way through it, but that's it.
One of the things I struggle with is patience. Like, I'm really impatient. Like, I want to just jump right into things, and I think that I'm getting away from that now because everything is so hard that if you tried to run right away, I mean, if we had gone into the maze the first day we were out here, that would have been a very emotional day. But one of the things I think that helped me the most in there was that every obstacle that we came to, I knew what we had to do because we had done it countless times in the bay, in the tunnel. Taking it one step at a time and each thing building on each other is crucial because if you just try to jump right into that, I mean, there's no way you can do it. There's absolutely no way.
One part adds up to a second part to a third part, just like with the SCBA and dressing drills. You got to be able to have their gear on right before they can throw ladders. Now that they're able to get their gear on straight, now we're going to test them on throwing ladders. Now that they're able to get ladders straight, now we're going to incorporate some search and rescue. So you got to have your gear on, you got to be able to throw a ladder to get inside. So everything just builds. It's a constant pyramid, just one block at a time, just working its way up. It goes with the SCBA, it goes with them getting dressed. It even goes with them out here, what they're doing today with the EVOC course. They're starting driving a car. It's baby steps. Everything's got to be done in baby steps because there's so much information that you've got to take in.
EVOC is an emergency vehicle operators course, and it's a course where it teaches you to drive different classifications of vehicles. They will not be thrown into the driver's seat the first day they graduate the academy. However, they need to be prepared to start that process once they move into the station. I think there's a point in their progression in the academy that they wonder if they're ever going to see fire. It's been a good almost 2 months before they even will see any fire, sometimes 2.5 months.
It's going to get hot in here. Be prepared for it, all right? Just when it starts to feel a little bit of heat, don't start freaking out. You need to feel the heat, okay?
That was really the first time we were in danger, which blew me away because people have been getting nervous about sort of the trivial stuff, that not trivial, but the things that aren't actual hazards to them, like the maze, you know, and the dressing drills and that sort of stuff. But then we're put into a room that's completely lit off, and there's 1,000 degrees of heat at the ceiling, and we could suffocate within a minute in there. And nobody was nervous at all.
So that was our first taste of fire, and feeling, like they said, the heat in your gear. And I said I couldn't imagine being a victim, because with all the gear on, we were cooking, so to be fully cognizant of what's going on and being in a hot room like that, I couldn't imagine. But again, it makes us realize how fast we need to move.
everything we're doing out here is physically challenging. Everything we lift is heavy, everything we do is hard, it all lasts for a long time. I mean, every aspect of it is hard, and it's stressful too.
Okay, what we're getting ready to do now is all the SCBA training that we've gone over the last 2 weeks, we're going to put it to the test. We're going to do a series of exercises first to get the heart rate up.
Ready? Left leg first. Go. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 2. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. 5.
We're going to bring them back inside, black them out totally, and then we're going to take all their packs, disassemble them, and they've got to be able to get their packs back together and get outside to a safe area. So we'll see how well they listen and how well they can control their breathing and keep from getting frustrated and panic.
Begin! On an air pad, whoa, come on! Get down! Don't you ever stand up again, look where you're going! What's that in your hand right there, Mr. Ellis? Right there in your hand, what's that in your hand? What's that in your left hand? Right there, what's that? What's that? What's that? What else is it known as, huh? What's your first stage regulator, huh? What side of your back is it on? Tell me that much. All right. Oh, no! Mr. Eunice, what is wrong?
There's almost no words for that. It was awful. Like I wanted to, when I got at home, I wanted to try to explain it to someone else, but I didn't even know how I could. It was like sensory overload in every different way. I mean, you couldn't hear anything because there was sirens blaring. You couldn't see anything because your mask was blacked out. You couldn't get a grip on anything because they were blasting you with hoses, and you had big, soaking wet, bulky fire gloves on, and they were quizzing you, they were asking us questions like, you know, the radio designations and specifics of our air packs, while we were trying to find bottles that half of them didn't fit for our harnesses, and some of them that fit didn't have the hand wheel to turn it on.
In the academy, and then even as tough as this stuff is, even when you get out and you get into the district and you get into a fire station, you're constantly being pushed out of your comfort zone. So you learn one thing and you kind of get comfortable with it, then you're pushed to the next level. That's tough, but at the same time, I think that's what a lot of people look for. So I think that's what it is. I think that's kind of what drives you is, I don't know, just the challenge of the whole thing.
We're getting ready to start some rope and some ladders, and part of that's going to be 2 stations that are oftentimes very controversial. One is the 100-foot aerial climb. We usually set that at about 70 degrees for them, make them climb it, a typical standard 100-foot ladder truck. Some people do well with that, some people don't, so that's going to be an interesting thing to see if they have a fear of heights. And then also when we do rope, the rope class with them, we have a station in there that's a rappelling station where we take them up to the top of the tower, somewhere around 60 feet in the air, and drop them over the top and let them rappel down to the bottom.
Right, go ahead and take your left hand, put your left hand on, you can hold right here.
Once we've taught them to put on their gear, and once we've taken the time to identify these phobias, the school really starts to ramp up from there. We go into things like ventilation, forcible entry, hazmat, forestry, Mayday training. We go to chainsaw class, salvage and overhaul. We get into hoses, nozzles, flowing water, all of these things, and it really ramps the school up. We spend a couple of days on each topic, but then we're moving along at that point. And I think the recruit starts to feel like, well, how does all this come together? And we keep telling them, you will get it in the end. We keep telling them that this will culminate into one thing where a light bulb will all of a sudden come on.
This is when the curriculum starts to shift from this outside kind of, blue sky, safe haven environment to this, either extreme height or I can't breathe in this environment, no visibility, I have no idea where I am, lost and disoriented type environment. So it's really starting to change now.
The training here is awesome.
Engine 11, Engine 17, Engine 14, and Squad 18 to 10403 Woodman Road, cross street of Hazmat Avenue and Gravel Drive for the reported house fire. Officer states that his house is on fire and he sees flames and heavy smoke from all 3 floors.
Got a 3-story
smoke showing from all four sides. It's going to be a working fire. We're going to go into rescue mode.
Command to engine 17 AA. That second hand line needs to go to Division 2, side Delta for fire.
Hey Jimmy, let us know if there's any fire on Division 1.
The live fire week is the time when they're going to really see all the topics that they've learned come together, and they're going to put them to use. They're going to come in, they're going to throw ladders, they're going to pull hose, they're going to search for victims, they're going to wear their gear like they've been taught, and they're going to do all of that in a really superheated environment with lots of thick choking smoke. They'll be sweating, their hearts will be pounding. This is the first time that they've really put all their skills together.
Battalion 4 has command on the Woodman Road incident. Engine 11, your interior. Squad 18, your search. Engine 14 on scene.
For somebody on the outside, it's so hard to explain what it's like going in. I mean, you can't see anything for the most part. You can't see an inch in front of your mask on the smoke-filled rooms.
As a firefighter with the Henrico County Division of Fire, you are expected to work when scheduled. The normal length of a workday is 24 hours. The work schedule is established years in advance. You will be expected to work on weekends, holidays, and other personal days such as birthdays, anniversaries, etc., unless you have been granted annual leave, comp leave, or are unable to work due to a documented sickness or injury. As a firefighter, you can be called back to work at any time if the situation arises, without notice or warning.
Our shift runs 7A to 7A the next day. Generally, people get here anywhere from 6 a.m. to 6:30. Basically, we're trying to relieve the other shifts so they're not stuck out on whatever incident may come in the morning, early in the morning.
The first thing we do every morning, the oncoming shift will relieve the shift that's already on duty. You want to relieve them as quick as possible. They spent the past 24 hours here, so as soon as you can, you like to get them out of here. So you come in, grab your gear, get yours ready in case a call were to come in right this second. That way you can relieve the person as soon as possible. They can take off, go home, and spend time with their family.
You have to be ready for anything first thing in the morning because before 7 o'clock you have to relieve the other shift. If you get a call first thing, whether it's EMS or a fire, or the other shift could already be out on a fire, and you have to be ready to come in and get your gear on and go out the door at any time. So you can't come in tired.
We have a plan. Usually I have a plan of what we may get done that day, but it doesn't always. Meals get interrupted, training gets interrupted, workouts get interrupted. It's, we come up with a plan, but it doesn't always happen.
In the fire service, there is no black and white. There's only shades of gray in everything that we do. You want to have a plan, but don't have that plan set in your mind as that's the way the day is going to be, because you will come to upset yourself very quickly. The guys that are driving the trucks, they get the trucks going, and that's their job to check them at 8, and the rest of us clean house.
We got to keep it clean because nobody else does. So if we don't keep it clean, we're going to be living in filth.
Well, in the morning, starting at 8 o'clock, we all just go ahead and start cleaning because we live here and it's just like a house. You have to clean everything. We have 3 different shifts and it gets kind of dirty, the traffic in and out of here. So we have some details in the morning that we have to do. All the bathrooms, the floors, sweeping, mopping. So everybody takes a turn, everybody just starts at 8 o'clock and everybody just gets it done. Sometimes we catch calls and we'll be running all day and then we won't even get to the house duties till after lunch. But it's very important, you have to keep it clean here.
No matter what we're doing, it's filler between calls. So the mindset is be ready to go whenever the frap goes off.
The frap is the tone that we get when a call comes in. All the lights come on in the station, so if it's nighttime and we're sound asleep, that frap goes off, all the lights come on, and then they will either put off a single tone, which is for an EMS call or a single engine response, or you'll get 2 beats, which is a multi-company response.
We're cleaning now, and if we get called away, we'll go do our job and come back and pick up where we left off.
We go out the door on the emergency. That's really what we're here for. All this other stuff is just fluff. The grass doesn't get cut today. Okay, the station may not look as nice as we want, but does it really have any untoward effect on our customers? No, and that's our line in the sand. We only have one chance to get that emergency response right, so we train for that. The emergency response and training for the emergency response has to be our priority, and we can't let ourselves get bogged down in all the support roles.
As a firefighter with the Henrico County Division of Fire, you will be exposed to injuries and illnesses which can range from minor bleeding to extreme injuries such as a limb amputation. Illnesses ranging from the common cold to being exposed to patients with fatal infectious diseases and exposure to all stages of death and dying are common realities in Henrico Fire.
When you walk through here the first thing in the morning is, you've got to be physically ready, you've got to be mentally ready just to handle the worst situation.
Because when we come on duty at 7, we have to be 100% ready to perform. We can't tell someone at 7:02, hey lady, I just got here 2 minutes ago. The truck was, all out of sorts from a long night. It's not acceptable. The call volume starts to ramp up about 6 o'clock. People wake up. Some people don't wake up, unfortunately. So that 6 to 8 is really chaotic. You've got a couple of $1 million worth of equipment that you're entrusted with that our customers have bought us. Some very nice, highly technical equipment, and we try and take the absolute best care of it.
A lot of different personalities. Anytime you put anywhere from 8 to 12 people in the same spot and then lock them down for 24 hours, you're going to come up with a gamut of stories.
Right now we're getting ready to go into Gold's Gym. It's even part of our standards and our regulations that we at least work out for 1 hour every day. The importance of working out, especially as a firefighter, is the job is extremely demanding physically. It can cause your body, it's an unnatural process for a body to go through. You go from a resting heart rate of anywhere between 70 to 80 beats per minute to when you get to a house fire or even some medical calls or even car wrecks to where your adrenaline is pumping so much your heart rate can get up to even 120, 140, and some people up to 160. The importance of working out as a firefighter is you got to stay in good cardiovascular shape, good physical shape. There's a lot of times where the job just can last for so long where you're constantly doing everything for hours upon end.
Your physical capability directly relates to your mental capacity, I believe. And if you're caught or trapped or at any time you're in trouble, the first person to recognize that is yourself. and the person that's most suited to help you is yourself. You know at the earliest possible moment that you're in trouble, and you can take the corrective actions to help get you out of that trouble. And if you're have maybe a little bit of an edge in the physical fitness side of it, then I believe that gives you a mental edge, because you know you can push yourself a little bit harder. You can probably overcome some things that some other people may not be able to. You know, most of the guys take great pride, I would like to think, in their physical fitness, and that you know, we're unique in that every day you show up to work, that you have the ability to save 3 lives. 1 being your own, 2 being your partner, and 3 being the person or the people that we're here, you know, that we're sworn to protect.
As a firefighter with the Henrico County Division of Fire, you are expected to be a lifelong learner and maintain all required certifications throughout your career, as well as maintaining your physical conditioning to the division's standard throughout your career. You are prohibited from the use of any tobacco products throughout your career.
So physical fitness directly correlates to all 3 of those capacities.
If you look back maybe, you know, through the history of different fire departments, you'd find, you know, card playing and, you know, sitting around, but that's not the case.
Everything we do, we're always in service, which means we're on standby for the next call. Whether it's working out at the gym, whether it's going to the grocery store, eating, taking a shower, or sleeping at nighttime. So we're always ready. And that's what I think a lot of things the public doesn't understand it. Maybe when we're at the gym, that, you know, we're working out, but we're ready to go. And that's why you always see us together. That's why we drive the trucks to the grocery store. That's because we're always together, we're always ready, we always have our gear, and we leave from wherever we're at.
We're here at the part of our daily routine is getting groceries. A lot of citizens think the county buys us groceries, but we do all our own grocery shopping and we pay for it. And so we're gonna go in here and get groceries for the day. Probably once a cycle, twice a cycle. We'll get called out during shopping. We'll have to come back. We've been called out 3 or 4 times one day, and we just said forget it, and we all went out to lunch. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 8th District. Engine 12 and up.
You have to come to work ready to go to 110% at any point in the 24 hours, and that's exhausting in and of itself. Just keeping yourself keyed up somewhere that you can easily transition and ramp up to that wide open, controlled chaos mode at any point. And how many times you don't know, just because you're exhausted at 2 o'clock in the morning after a fire. You know, you've still got a couple of more hours to go. Things are subject to go helter-skelter at any second for an undetermined amount of time, and how far off is anyone's guess.
When the tone goes off, you go. And no matter day or night, cold or hot, wet or dry, you know, we roll out, and it's that's what we do. That's one of the unique things about the job. It's always changing. Shades of gray.
Calls dictate the whole day in call volume, and like we might have demos scheduled or inspections, and there's usually something every day of the week that we're supposed to get done, as well as trying to work in the hour of physical fitness. But I mean, it just depends on that prep going on.
We were just at an accident a minute ago, and now we're doing some business inspections. And then later this afternoon, we're going to do a walkthrough of a church that's being built.
The action part of it is one component of our job. We don't have a fire every day. The day in the life part, I think, may actually be more interesting. You can get on YouTube and see all the fire you want to. So I hope that seeing the mundane part may be actually interesting for people. Not as exciting, but it's our reality.
We're here 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
And it's kind of like a home away from home. You sleep, eat, clean, just like you would at home. Everybody has chores that you have to do every day. I think that probably catches a lot of people off guard the most if they're in here doing a tour of the station. Especially the kids. I guess the kids don't really realize that.
Being approachable is very important to us. Being approachable and trust, people's trust.
That's what we're here for. It's, you know, once we get inside here, we don't close the doors and just say, leave us alone. No, we're here for the citizens of Henrico.
We get, it's actually quite a variety of people that drop by. We'll start with the kids that drop by that want to see the fire trucks. You absolutely can't refuse kids seeing fire trucks.
All right, Maddie, we're gonna go ahead and drive the engine here. Basically, just anytime someone from the public wants to stop by with their kids, take a look at the fire trucks, we're more than happy to show them around, let them drive the fire truck, and experience a little bit of our station life. What do you think, Maddie?
That's a ladder, big ladder.
That's a big ladder. You're right. You want to see the red lights, don't you?
It's a public building. The public owns this building. The citizens of Henrico bought this, and the units too. So I mean, they're every time they want to stop by, we always want to give them a tour.
Bedtime's another a different occasion around here. We're all different animals and march to a different beat, I guess you could say. Everybody's different, and that's the thing with 11 people around here at times. You got to be flexible. And there's guys in the fire service that slept in a chair or recliner their entire career. And we call them chair dwellers. But then there's others that young guys that go to bed at 8. There's old guys, old as dirt, that go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. Everybody has like a little different ritual, that they go through and what time they want to go to bed.
It's going to bed with the idea that hopefully nothing's going to happen. In the back of your mind, it's still there that, hey, that frap's going to go off. And if it's a stormy night or if there's something going on, you're going to get up 2 to 3 times. It's not normal for the body to go to sleep, get up, go to sleep, get up, go to sleep, get up, and it wears on you. It wears on you very quickly. And there's times where if you get into a good deep sleep and that thing goes off, you're kind of out of it for a second or two. You gotta gather your wits just to get ready and go.
I kind of use this terminology, and that people can do this at home. Set your alarm clock for any time, but don't know what time you're setting it for. And as soon as it goes off, get up, dress as quick as you can, get in your car, ride around the block with your radio wide open, come back, park it in your driveway, and then sit down at your kitchen table and write a paragraph about anything you want, and then go back to sleep. And that's what we do, 4, 5, sometimes 6 times a night.
We could be tired, it could be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It could be the 12th one we ran that day. That one still gets the same treatment as the one that happened at 7 o'clock in the morning. So you go there and you're tired and you're worn out, but you still give it your all. If it does turn out to be a good outcome, that makes it all worthwhile. It's such a good feeling to help somebody out.
When we're able to go out and do what we're trained for, you definitely have a feeling that you've validated that 24 hours that you've spent away from your family and feel like you've done your job. Some days are more validating than others around here, obviously. Some days are mundane. This is not some fictional TV show that we blow up to be, you know, saving babies 3 or 4 times a day. It's not that, but the really intense stuff happens. When that happens, you really feel like you've checked that box for the tour, and the county and the customer certainly got what they paid for. And it feels good, you know, even if you're beat down and sore, you know that you've done something and you've helped somebody in the process.
As a firefighter with the Henrico Division of Fire, you can be placed in situations where you risk your life to save another.